Gordhan, who was also listening ardently to that speech of the Deputy President. Mr. Gordhan, I think first of all, your reaction to the Deputy President's speech, very, very clear on issues of state capture.
As we all should be. State capture is about the wrong kind of people who, for their own benefit, are taking over both the economic arms of the state and the enforcement arms of the state, so that 55 million people are left thinking about where is this country actually going. So the DP is absolutely right, as is the party, that we all need to do something seriously and with a greater deal of determination to counter state capture.
I've just spoken to the General Secretary of COSATU right now, and he says that, look, even before Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa possibly becomes the president of the ANC, and that may possibly mean him becoming state president, the issues of state capture must be investigated. Prosecution must then be the next step, and people must be put in jail. What would your preference be here? What is it that you would want to see happen, and who, by the way, should go to jail in your view?
Well, if any citizen is caught with stealing even a loaf of bread in a supermarket, they would face either a fine or jail in today's terms. Here we have people stealing billions of rands from state institutions and nothing happens to them. So the first thing we should be concerned about is the fact that these elements are operating with total impunity. In other words, I don't care, because I know I won't be caught. So what should be done? All of us, as we said before, should connect the dots, should be more active in opposing these things from happening. And then, apart from investigations and so on, let there be a firm decision in government, no more business with these elements, be they a particular family or even people that are known to us inside and outside of government. That's number one. Number two, change the leadership of the state-owned entities, both at a management level and at a board level, because they must take responsibility for the billions that are being lost. I mean, there are still old deals in the system. You read about them, but it's still going on.
In the interest of time, Mr. Gordhan, let me ask you simply. The president of the country right now is said to be at the center of this. He is the one who is the enabler, if you will. What should happen to him? And lastly, you are a member of parliament. The 8th of August is upon us. You have said that you're going to vote with your conscience. What will you do? Do you still remain true to that word? And what are your thoughts? I know it's many questions, but what are your thoughts also on Makosi Khoza, who is seemingly going to be disciplined by the party because she clearly is not going to toe the party line?
There's too many questions, like you said. But let's take the first part. I think the question of the president and so on, again, is in the public domain. The Constitutional Court has commented on this in respect of many matters. There are other matters that are still coming to court as well.
Must it be prosecuted?
Well, the relevant authorities must treat any one of us in the same way as they would the president or anybody else that's implicated in this process. And if there is to be an inquiry, well, let's get on with the inquiry. Let's appoint an independent and respected judge and have a short time frame, so at least some of these things can be either proven or disproven, one way or the other, and South Africa knows where we stand. On the question of the 8th of August, conscience is still an important factor for all of us. Many people have joined the anti-apartheid struggle because of conscience. And in addition to conscience, because of a political consciousness, which enabled us to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. Thirdly, in relation to Ms. Khoza, she must have a democratic right to express her view. She should not be subjected to the intimidation and the threats that she and her family are being subjected to. And I think the head of parliament needs to be a lot more careful about how comments are made in this particular regard, because impartiality in that position is absolutely critical. So South Africa, I think it's important that we begin to understand yet another set of issues that are confronting us and connect the dots, the new set of dots that are actually emerging, and ask ourselves, are we just going to be passive passengers in this process, or are we going to be active citizens that are going to look after our country?
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Much appreciated. We do appreciate it indeed. Well, Jeremy, those are the words of the former Finance Minister, Pravin Gordhan. I think on the issue of the 8th of August, Jeremy, on the motion of no confidence, read what you will in that, but my take is that he is going to vote with his conscience. What that means, well, I think you and I can ponder on that. The other issue, Jeremy, of course, Makosi Koza, I think is very clear. His communication to Jackson Mthembu is that you can't intimidate people because they're going to vote in relation to their conscience. And I think Jeremy, the former Finance Minister, did not mince his words here. Back to you.
All right, live at the SACP Congress in Eastern Johannesburg, reporter Colin Gambi. Now,